Who's your GOAT one-on-one player?
Dimitri Noble from the 7th grade. Dimitri Noble was short, chubby. He kind of looked like Viola Davis a little bit. Like, he was fearless. You know, obviously, I don't know where he at right now, but you should have went to the league, my boy.
Yo, peace. Welcome back to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm Carmelo Anthony here with my co-host.
You know what it is. My name is Kazeem Famuyide. You could call me Kaz. And this is a Wave original presented by FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the National Basketball Association. We're back in the hook, Melo. We got ourselves an incredible guest today. We're joined. Man, listen, this is, when you start putting like shows together, like you have like a short list of people you want on this couch, especially around this time. This is one of those people. We are joined by one of the sharpest minds in culture, Long Beach's own, a generational storyteller with one of the most unique voices in music and entertainment. He's been dropping critically acclaimed projects for more than a decade, from Summertime '06 to Big Fish Theory to FM and most recently, Dark Times. He created and stars in The Vince Staples Show, which you can watch right now on Netflix. Nobody blends honesty, humor, and perspective the way he does, and somehow he still finds time to be a long-suffering Clippers fan.
That's big time, Vince. But you one of them ones, bro, and I like to say that because you've always moved like with intention and integrity, and you always push the culture forward. Like, to me, it's not a lot of people who just keep it a buck and keep it as real and authentic as you do. So I just want to say, man, appreciate you pulling up to the show. Appreciate you sitting on this couch over here. This is a good couch.
Yeah.
This is good vibrations over here. Good energy over here.
Welcome to the show, man. Welcome.
Yes.
We got Vince Staples in the hook, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Man, let's first off, I know it's been a crazy couple of weeks. The Vince Staples Show out, doing lots of press, you know what I mean? You did the premiere here last night. And you just a West Coast guy in New York, especially when it's extra cold out. So I appreciate you making that trip.
The weather's light out here right now.
A little lighter.
Yeah, I mean, I done, touring and shit, you come out here, but I got people like my whole, like representation as far as like early on. It's still the same folks, but like management, lawyers and stuff, everybody from out here. So I spent a lot of time out here when we was younger. So
nice.
You get used to it after a while,
That's good, man.
Before we get to that, on this episode of 7 p.m., we talking Long Beach, Clippers loyalty, and Vince's journey as a creator and the world he is building with season 2 of the Vince Staples Show.
And of course, we're tapping into a little bit of SoCal hoops culture, running a special LA edition of Run the Ones, and of course, closing it out with America's #1 segment, Fuck With It or Fuck Out of Here.
Yes.
All right, so Vince, first off, we start the show the same way we always start the show, with the connect. Usually when somebody pulls up to the hook, we like to try and find a story or just talk about the first time you either met Carmelo Anthony or just aware of his presence in sports or culture or whatever it is. So first off, I want to ask you, man, when was the first time you either met Melo, saw Melo hoop, anything like that, or what was it like for you?
That was childhood. That's like elementary school, probably like elementary, early middle school type situation. The team, them in Chauncey, Kmart and all them dudes. But the Jordan was a hit, like for sure a hit. Where I grew up at.
You talking about the 1.5?
Yeah, it wasn't really a lot of like retro type stuff going on. Like where I was at, we didn't really get them like that, or didn't know where to get them. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It was. I know y'all played together, but like it was the only thing like kind of after like an Iverson thing that like felt like youthful, but you was older, so you got to enjoy it a little bit more. But yeah, for sure had the jerseys, had all the stuff. Everybody did, but it was definitely something.
We was culture.
Yeah,
we all was culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was close though. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff was kind of more East Coast based, and like we got to see more of the games because it was in Denver. You know what I'm saying? So it was a cool experience.
I like to say I bridged the gap between it. East Coast and West Coast when it came to watching sports.
Yeah.
Because Denver came on at a weird time.
Yeah.
It was like probably 10 o'clock East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a weird time, right? So most times people ain't watching the West Coast games because at that point in time because it was too late.
Yeah.
You know, so you get a chance to see Denver, you get a chance to get somebody that's representing one coast.
Sure.
and then you represent the whole nother coast by the jersey that you're wearing. So it was dope. That was dope.
Do you remember the first time you've met? I mean, usually we do the connect, and sometimes it's like related.
We did a panel together.
Yeah,
Okay, right?
Sure,
we did I think it was a Players Tribune panel.
Okay,
for sure. Yeah, I remember that.
So that was a time that we connected. We was on the same panel, man. We was just building. That was the first time I actually got a chance to just hear him speak, see where his mind was at, see how he was thinking, see the creativity that he was bringing. So it was just a dope room to be in with the Players Tribune at that point.
Do you remember that Players Tribune
for sure.
panel?
Remember, that was early. We weren't really doing a lot of stuff like early speaking engagements and stuff, kind of learning how to communicate in the proper ways and channels and stuff. I
What do you mean proper way, man? It feels like ever since, every interview I've ever seen from you, you've always felt like somebody who knew exactly what you wanted to say and never really,
Yeah, I feel you. I'm not really like a talkative dude like that. That's just part of the job. I know I sound crazy to like hear, but it's not really my thing. It's part of the job. So you got to learn how to communicate and like get those moments, especially like learning how to market certain things. Like, certain things it's cool, you stick with, but like a lot of you say a lot of dumb shit, especially when you like been doing this since you was a kid. Like, I'm 32 now, so I'll be seeing like clips from like 10 years ago, and I'll be sick of that shit. You know what
really?
I mean?
It's like, is it like an old song or is it like?
Nah, it's just like, it's one of them things where it's like, you got a lot of art that you put out into the world, but just clip culture, it's like you see a lot of that type of stuff more than you see like the other shit. So it's like, damn, like you could have used that moment to kind of push back towards the stuff that it's more of a business standpoint than anything else. So it's not wasting your moments and wasting your statements, really.
No, I hear you. I could almost understand where it's like you don't want people to think you're just the guy who says funny stuff on clips, where you have all this other great art that you create from your shows to the movie, to the music and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, and I don't be joking and shit, niggas just be laughing. So it's like, you know what I mean? It ain't even like a thing. But
All right, man. Let's talk about some sports real quick. We're definitely gonna talk about season 2 of the Vince Staples Show, but before we jump into that, Vince, we have to start here, man. You are a real deal Clippers fan. You have lived through the ups, you lived through the downs, and you lived through some things. But we just saw SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, go crazy on your Clippers a couple nights ago. And how has life been?
That was last night.
Yeah, well, by the time they see it, you know what I mean? I'm trying to give them a little inside baseball here.
Yeah, sure.
But, how's life been as a Clippers fan lately? There's been lots of talk, lots of speculation, lots of things
about the way that the games is, like with all that streaming and maps and stuff, I ain't really seen shit.
Really?
I see, like, I bought the little Peacock, whatever.
That's all you need. Come on, Tuesdays, that's what you need.
Yeah, so I've seen a couple of them, but it's like the past couple of years, if like playoffs and stuff like that is different, but it's been a lot going on. But as far as, the Shea thing, that was dumb, like when they did it, but I get it. You trying to build that stadium, put people in seats, but it's not really, ain't really been no highs like that. It's not like, you know what I mean? I ain't delusional, bro. It ain't that deep. So I think it was cheap and it was easy to get into, when you were a kid. That's a lot of the times how you find some shit, So that was kind of the more of the Clippers thing. I think that I get what they going for. They just need some new blood and some youth because they got a decent squad of like older dudes. So if they get some younger dudes, they be straight.
I think they lead the league in age right now, right? They're the oldest team in the league or something like that?
They got a hell of surgeries between them dudes. So it's like they just got to figure out a way to get some youth. I don't think it's going to happen no time soon. They trying to hit that boy with that case for them trees. But once they figure that out, they'll be all right,
Man, what you think about that whole thing, man? I think it was Aspersion, what's it called? Now they're suing Ballmer for it or whatever.
Don't nobody want to take the case, man.
Ain't nobody touching that case.
Yeah. So. You know how it is. He did it. You know how it is. Right? Start telling on their show.
Ain't nobody touching that case, boy.
I know. So it's a $1 billion game, man. So who knows what kind of crazy stuff they doing behind them things, but they should have planted them trees, bro. And everything would have been different. Somebody could have planted them trees.
If Kawhi planted like 3 or 4 trees, Pablo Torre this ain't even a story.
They could have went down to Home Depot, got them some joints.
Something.
$20 a piece, $50 a piece, put them trees in the ground, bro, and everything would have went away. So you can't be lazy, man. When you commit crimes, you gotta be hands on.
So you gotta be hands on for it. You mentioned SGA earlier. I was watching Start on 5, and he said that he takes it personally when he goes and plays the Clippers, right? Like, because you traded him, you said, you know, they needed a star at the time, and now it turns out SGA is probably one of the biggest stars in the entire league. I know as a Clippers fan, that's gotta.
I mean, not really, man. I ain't playing. So it's like, I ain't tripping. I think that's cool for him, though. He got to, like, submit himself in that situation. Oklahoma City, cool. It's a cool franchise, cool team. I think that him having something of his own that wasn't, like, draped in mystique. Of course, you got the KD stuff and all the other, and Russ and James and all those people, but they really didn't take it to that next level. So it felt like he was able to carve out that lane on his own. He couldn't have done that in California, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Who's your favorite Clipper?
Probably like BD.
Okay, you talking real Clippers.
Yeah, for sure, BD. Yeah.
Say that.
That was a different era, but you know, Coutinho was cold. Corey Maggette was cold. That whole era that's when I was a kid, you know what I mean? So it was just fun to watch. Like, they was getting whooped on, but
BD was the
yeah.
They still gave
shout out to
some
BD, man.
So,
Diddy, B Diddy.
the Clippers like hollered at you to, like, you know, be part of the recruiting pitch for Kawhi, right?
We did a voiceover. Yeah, we did a voiceover. It was they was doing the most, man. You know what I mean? They really wanted to come to the team, and I think it was a good plan. You know what I mean? It's just dudes get hurt, but you know he been hooping lately though.
Did you meet Ballmer throughout the entire?
Nah,
situation?
Man, I don't think so. You know, we was in like an office in a back room through a back door. It was all, I don't know what they had going on. They was probably trying to hide them trees, but we did the pitch, and it was cool, man, just to see, like, especially what they doing over there in the city. It's like interesting to kind of see all that stuff over there. Like, it's weird, you know what I mean? But it looked like it's panning out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you know, it's been Vince, you've had the acting chops for a long time, man. Like, I know we spoke about the viral clips, and a lot of that stuff is from, you know, interviews and whatnot, but, you know, we'd see certain things, and I swear every time I look online, I'm like, yo, whoever gives Vince Staples a TV show, whoever gives Vince Staples a movie, whoever's like, that person's gonna be out of here. Now you got the second season of you know, the Vince Staples show. I watched it this week, and it's an insane season for many reasons, right? Like, so
that first episode is,
you know, by the time this is out, I'm sure people will be able to binge it and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
that's a sick story, though.
First season, you kind of allude to Uncle James, right? You know, is you know, people putting 2 and 2 together, watching the clues. You're basically the nephew of O.J. Simpson on the show, right? And then season 2, the first episode, you and your mom talk about Uncle James passing away, and every episode is sort of, I don't know how to really word this, like the misadventures of getting to that funeral, right? Like, and sure. I think the what you do really well, especially on the show and the content, is like the Black experience that isn't necessarily like as, I don't know, like it's
not as typical.
It's not as typical, right? Sure. Like we all lose loved ones. We all go through, you know, this, you know, family drama with your moms and your sister and all that type of stuff. And the chaos of that. And all the chaos of that. And the way you shape it while still implementing like regular everyday hood shit, like a bank robbery or running over somebody, is all weaved in to that entire story. So just tell me a little bit about how it, you know, being a writer on the show, not just acting on it, like writing.
I mean, the writing kind of came later. It was something that took place during the pre-production of the process. Like, we kind of wasn't getting across the right thing. So when we started writing the show, one of the director, you know, guy that created the YouTube series and started the show with me, a director named Carmelo. He did the some of the Kendrick videos and stuff like that nature. Real good dude, real creative. And he does a lot of the things, you know, kind of himself. He real hands-on with the way that he produces his stuff. And he was like, look, we're not going to get this show if you don't write it. Well, we already had it, but it's not going to get greenlit to kind of go into production just because it was missing something. So he just said, download Final Draft. It's $200. Sat with one of my executive producers. I was like, how you do this? And then he kind of walked me through like the shortcuts and like the formatting type stuff. And then I started doing that. And we kind of used the first season to just learn how to do certain things and get into storytelling. But we had, you know, certain limitations based on being the first time, everything, writer, acting, all this other stuff. So when we kind of had some roadblocks, so to say, with how they kind of view things and how I view things. So just working through those as a team to get us to a point to where a lot of the episodes in season 1 were just a lot of production woes as far as just our timing, the amount of days we had to shoot episodes. Like we had to drop a lot of pages, meaning that we weren't able to shoot them throughout the day. We ran out of time, and just learning from that process and taking that into the second season and learning how to kind of streamline everything is really something that kind of took stuff to the next level. And a lot of things work. Like I remember when I had the OJ thing, that was like, you can't have a character in your show named Uncle OJ, and I'm like, I felt him, you feel me? But then certain things happen and like, oh, that might actually work, and kind of natural things happen, obviously, and we tied that into kind of the discovery path for how we wanted to use the next season. I knew I wanted to kind of utilize that as a plot point, but as we figured out our strong suits as far as our production, especially post strike, I felt like it was something that we can lean into to kind of take us on an adventure. I wanted to tell a smaller story, and kind of involve new characters, a new world, because I look at it like animation, right? You know, you got The Simpsons and Family Guy and stuff like that. They got dozens of characters that you explore, and I really wanted to involve some new people. So we had some of the family members kind of started in the season, but the body of the season is kind of Vince going on this journey alone with just him and kind of his uncle to kind of show him like regret, you know, remorse, things of that nature, tying kind of OJ's tragedy to some of the tragedies that we all face, regret, mistakes, because he, you know, lived with a lot of regret and a lot of mistakes, and it kind of tainted his legacy. So we deal with those kind of things. The idea of what legacy is, the idea of how you maneuver through certain spaces and try to utilize those with everyday life, because as we know, in the places we come from, things happen all the time, and no matter what you're going through, you might run into some nonsense. So we wanted to make sure that we used a light approach to that, just really getting day in the life type stuff going from our perspective, making sure it's heavy, but it's still fun and executed well.
I feel like, you know, a lot of stuff that I've seen for you over the years is that you tend to really like humanize a lot of people that's in the public eye. Like one clip that I remember, you know, I know you hate probably talking about old clips.
That's all good, bro. It's all good.
But you know, like I remember you talking about how Ray J is important to all parts of Black culture, right? And on the outside looking in, you probably think you're joking around, but like the way you break it down, you know what I'm saying? Like people take it serious. And I think we saw a lot of that. Well, I see a lot of that in season 2, where it's like you kind of humanizing this guy who we all know, you know, you're referring to O.J. Simpson, the first episode. You see the football player run out and you're chasing after him. And then you see the USC jersey in the front seat and all this type of stuff. So it's like seeing all that, but remembering like, hey, this is probably somebody who did have a nephew who probably loved him and did have like an aunt who loved him and all that type of stuff. Like how important is it to sort of like tell those type of stories when it comes to your art?
I mean, it's really important because, you know, you can't run from your circumstances and kind of the things that you experience. And, you know, coming from where we come from, we all know people who have committed heinous acts, you know what I mean? And we can kind of see the humanity within them. And it's important to kind of recognize the demons that we have, you know, within our communities and ourselves and things of that nature, and utilize them as ways to showcase the real. And I wasn't really trying to do something really autobiographical, and it's my life story, and it's boring to me. So I'd rather utilize those themes to explore kind of bigger things and do something that's a little bit more imaginative, playing with reality, playing with the way that we decipher what's real and what's not. You know, I'm pretty sure we all done experienced things and you done went home and tried to tell our folks and they was like, no, nigga, that ain't happening. So I think that it's just a matter of finding ways to suspend disbelief, because as you know, you reach certain parts of success and certain levels of life, and it's like you living in another world from the people that's close to you, and then it kind of leaves you segmented. So even with the way that we wrote the season, it was important to showcase the family early on, because it's a comparison of how they're grieving and dealing with the situation.
Absolutely.
And it puts Vince on the island to where when he starts dealing with these things that you'll see later on in the season, it's really haunting, because he's dealing with all the things that we see within the Black community and success. We just made it instead of a thought process or a way of being. It's a physical, actual place. These are physical, actual people that represent kind of the pitfalls of, you know, successful Black people who don't really necessarily know where they fit in the world and where they go to commune and things like that.
Where did that come from? Like, what sparked that? Just that level of insight, you know, being that insight, that level of education to say, hey, I'm going to take something that's real, that's authentic, that's me, that's my community, that's my folks, and I'm going to shine a different light on there. Because most people would tell a story of the true story that's actually that what we doing, the same shit that we see in all the stories that that depict our community. What made you take it a whole nother way? Like, what was that moment you like, damn, you know what? I'm going to fuck with this story because this is the way that I'm going to get into people's households and get people to really understand what's going on in the Black community. Like, where did that creativity come from? I'm interested to know where that came from.
I mean, I think it's just I'm 32, right? So it was different when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the internet changes the way that we view imagination, and honestly, the perspective of hip hop has changed over time. And I'm not one of the people that act like we don't come from that community. So that is the depiction. Is when you look at someone that is a hip hop artist, is within the hip hop culture, so to say. It's about, this is my story. This is 100% real, and that's fine. But we have to find ways to be creative. Like, older hip hop was creative. It had a lot of identity, a lot of kind of playfulness to it, even when things were super serious. So if you take it to film, you know, Menace, even though it seemed like it's super duper just a regular hood flick, like the cameras and the composition and a lot of the photography in that film is very vivid and bright. And like when you go to those areas and you see Watts, like it's not really shot that vibrant and don't feel that, you know, we got faded paint on the house and things of that nature. But if you look at how Menace Society was shot, it feels bright, it feels vivid, and that's creative in its own way. A film like Ghost Dog, like, you know, is vivid and it's imaginative, even though it's dealing with real stuff. And I think that those are the things that we try to pull from Meteor Man. You get what I'm saying? 5 Heartbeats. There's like a playfulness in a lot of the stuff that we had growing up. And because I grew up in that era, like kind of before the internet, like they got all kind of terminology now, like shows got to be second screen so you can scroll through your phone and still actually follow the show, or we don't want necessarily a lot of color and texture and film grain and stuff like that. We stray away from that because it's just not something that's specific to me and how I view these things. So it's not that it hasn't been done before. I just think that it's hard to get made, especially when you're dealing with younger audiences and demographics. But I've seen a lot of that growing up, and it always felt like it was a little bit different. So I wanted to kind of apply that to what I was creating. Like even the Bernie Mac show, like the way that show is shot, it's not shot like a typical sitcom. The floating cameras, the long hallway shots, things of that nature. That's like superior filmmaking. So we had it, and we do have it. We just got to get the right opportunities to the right people in the right spaces, and I think it can get back to that.
We have this special segment on the show, man. It's called the 7 p.m. moment. And our 7 p.m. moment is presented by Zip Recruiter, the smartest way to hire. This is the point of your life, personal or professional, where you at a fork in the road, a moment where you make the choice that sends you down a specific path. You have to be locked in and trust yourself when it happens. Like, what is Vince's 7 p.m. moment?
I think for me personally, it came with the touring. You had to decide to just like leave. And when I was touring by myself. We didn't have no DJ, we didn't have no nothing. It was opening up for Mac Miller the first time, and it was like, so we split the double room with the security guard and one of his DJs DJ, and we was eating the food with the people that was loading in the thing. And it was like, I was a teenager. I ain't finished high school or nothing like that, so I didn't get to go to college and had the opportunity to kind of be away from home. So it was my first time being out of that environment. So just really sitting and being like, all right, I'm gonna do this like solo. That was kind of a defining moment, and allowed me to be able to be professional at a young age and learn how to take things seriously, kind of without help, and that helps in these situations.
We're going to jump to Run the Ones. You know, we got to get to the basketball side.
I got you. Let's do it.
So jumping into one of my favorite new segments, we're doing Run the Ones. Like we said last week, Run the Ones is a cross-era hypothetical segment. It's not about who's the better NBA or 5-on-5 player. It's about who runs the court in a one-on-one battle.
So Vince, Melo, we're doing the Run the Ones with a little bit of twist this week, all right? This week is all Southern California hoopers, all right? So when we do this, you know, Run the Ones, it's usually like, remember, just one-on-one basketball, all right? We've had many conversations that have sprawled out of control, but just so we have it clear.
Every time.
These are one-on-one hypothetical conversations, all right? Our first matchup, Vince, is your boy, Baron Davis versus Russell Westbrook, one-on-one. Who you got?
I think Baron bigger, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Russell tanks too, man.
I'm going Russ. Whoever bigger, because they both kind of out there mentally. So whoever bigger, I just think gonna win. I think they're gonna kind of grind it out. But Russ, Russ Cole, Russ one of my favorite players.
Man, I love Baron Davis though. Like, especially prime BD, like when he was jumping out the gym and
Russ can jump too though, but Barron just be dribbling that motherfucker. Like he can get around somebody, but if they kind of the same size, Russ, he like a, muscle head type dude, so he ain't really getting by him.
I feel like Russ is probably a better defender too. Like he'll probably,
Russ gonna foul him. Yeah, Russ fouling for sure.
He only answered the questions, right?
Yeah, well, you can answer them too, obviously.
I'm gonna go with BD.
I know those are both of your guys too.
No, I mean that's neither here or there.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go with BD. BD is one of them ones.
BD cold, bro. Like
BD's one of them ones. We talking about 1-on-1, like just me and you, and I gotta get a bucket.
If you talking prime, no. If you talking prime, BD,
I'm just saying,
prime BD, he got
1-on-1.
I think people are gonna see this conversation and be like, as accomplished as Russell Westbrook is, like, how do you pick anybody over him? You had to have seen Baron Davis.
No, let's just strip. You gotta just put the context. That's why we gotta put the context. That's why the shit in context.
Because if Russ got some size over him, he can probably get that mid range off. But if BD bigger than him, that left right is crazy.
And Baron Davis got a little bit more wiggle into.
He got too much shit to him.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
BD different.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna pass. I don't even know if I can. I think I'll pick Russ just to be different. I'll pick Russ just to be different than the man. Paul George versus Kawhi Leonard. Who run the ones on that one?
Kawhi. Ain't nobody fucking Kawhi.
Prime Paul George.
He not fucking Kawhi.
All right,
I love P. That's my boy.
Are we doing pre-leg or post-leg?
Pre-leg ain't prime.
24?
Pre-leg ain't prime.
Pre-leg was early.
All right, so we're talking 24 Indy or low-key. His best season was what, OKC? I want to say statistically he was like top 5 MVP.
Yeah, he was cooking, but Kawhi got that shit, bro. I ain't playing, man. You see how he be dribbling that with no back and no legs? Like, come on, bro.
Oh man, I mean, I feel like so many players have like tried to model the game after Paul George, but Kawhi is just Kawhi, bro. Like
Paul George make it look smooth. Kawhi, like, you ain't like he like crazy, Terminator, bro.
Kawhi come from a different cloth as far as type of game he got. Like he come from like with us, like it's me, it's Kawhi, it's KD, it's a Kobe. It's like those assassins in those areas. Like they just get straight to you. Ain't gotta do much. 2 dribbles, 3 dribbles, get to my spot. You ain't gonna stop it. Like that's how he play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He cut angles. He been
hurt for 15 years, bro.
Very.
And he's still cooking.
Still.
Very precise.
And he's one of them guys where it's like, if Kawhi get it going, till this day, he's one of them dudes that's like still incredible to watch. When he's like,
he's a must watch when
he's on. It's just like, come on, son. Like, you sure he's still not one of the best players in the league? He might be.
He cooking right now. It's just he just don't play that much because he got a lot of injury history. But anytime he get the ball, he gonna shoot that motherfucker. He never play it.
Absolutely. You look, certain nights you look and wink a little bit. It's dark. Like he do look like MJ sometimes. Like certain nights.
He be cooking.
Mid-range game is crazy. Gilbert Arenas versus Nick Young. Shout out to the guys at Gilbert.
Y'all being foul. If you talking about prime, this is foul. Oh, don't do that to Nick, man.
This is unfair.
Shout out to my boy Swaggy, man.
I love Swaggy P. That's my guy. He good.
Gil got size on that, man. And he gonna try to mentally manipulate my boy Nick, man. so Gil go get him, but don't sleep on Nick Young, man. Nick Young cold. Anyone passing to Kobe. I like that. It take a certain kind of person to tell Kobe, like, give me that shit. Like, what are you doing?
I gotta agree with that, man. Gilbert Arenas is one of my favorite players all time, man. Like prime Gilbert, Hibachi era, the Wizards jersey.
Gil was cold, man. Gil was a star at the elementary school, bro.
He gave Kobe 60.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to let you know.
What you got, Melo?
The next one?
Nah, I mean, who you taking? you take
I'm gonna take Gil. I mean, it's not, Nick is
Nick a problem. Absolutely.
We'll get with 1-on-1. Again, we talking about 1-on-1. Nick is a 1-on-1 guy in that type of situation.
Nick a little taller, you know what I mean? He might be able to, back him down a little bit, but I'm still taking Gilbert. It's a good one right here. James Harden versus DeMar DeRozan.
James.
And we're talking 1-on-1s now.
James. But I fuck with Diva. That's my boy. He cold, but James a robot. He be cheating and shit with all like the crazy stuff and all the rule breaking. James a video game, man.
Yo, James Harden ain't gonna get the credit he deserves for changing the game until he's gone.
Like he don't talk.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, he don't really. He quiet, man. They not trying to. If you don't say something, they gonna try to take it from you every chance they get. But
Yeah, that's fair.
DeMar the same too. He really consistent. Had a good win the other day, but
He had a good win the other day.
Yeah,
That's a good one though. I would say James.
Yeah.
Yeah, because DeMar is more like
organized.
Yeah, he's more Kawhi shit. You know what I mean? Like as far as get to my spot, he want to use shot fakes. He go tween shot fake. Like unless he go shot fake niggas to death in a one-on-one
no shot clock.
You know what I'm saying? That's different.
Yeah.
James, because that's what his bag is. What makes James.
Yeah, you said it, man. James is a manipulator. And one-on-one, man, like I don't think.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people in the world that want to stay in front of
Yeah,
him.
you just let a nigga size you up the whole time. You get a chance to size a nigga up the whole time, one-on-one.
Yeah, do that like, do that in the real game. Do that in 5-on-5s too. Like they setting plays up to get him those opportunities. So.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable one-on-one. I'm taking James on.
You got to.
So go ahead, my fault.
To close out the runs?
Yeah, let's close the one out, man.
Who's your GOAT one-on-one player?
Look, bro. Dimitri Noble from the 7th grade. Dimitri Noble was short, chubby. He kind of looked like Viola Davis a little bit. Like when I'm telling you, he had both hands, and he was just a mean child, bro. That was my boy. But he was crazy doing hot sauce shit. We put to a Christian school, so we playing at Luthers Park. He off the heezy, take him out the game. I never seen nothing like that in my life, bro. Because he was so small, bro, and he was fearless. Obviously, I don't know where he at right now, but you should have went to the league, my boy. Like I ain't see nothing like that. If we talking league, probably just see an AI when we was younger. That was crazy because it was the first time I had saw that style of play.
Yeah.
But AI wasn't messing with Dimitri Noble, bro. Yeah, it was different.
You gotta put him in one of your shows.
We gotta find him, bro.
Gotta put him in one of the episodes.
We gonna see this, man. We gonna find Dimitri Noble somewhere.
Dimitri Noble was cold, bro.
He gonna pop out after this episode, right? He gonna pop out for sure.
Up in the comment section, man. If you see Dimitri Noble somewhere.
Yeah, shout out my boy, man.
Set him up. Fuck it, man. You know what time it is.
Yeah, I'm saying.
It's time for America's #1 segment, people. It's called Fuck With It or Fuck Out of Here, Vince. This is where we go through some of the funniest videos throughout the internet, and we decide if we're fucking with it or we getting it the fuck out of here. Vince, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's get to it. DeAndre Bonds, who we know as Stacy from the Wood, Scully from Snowfall, and many more roles, recently took to social media to show off his brand new hairstyle. Let's check it out.
Scully, come on, Scully.
Oh, this the swoop?
Oh, man.
Come on, Scully.
Nah, he got the swoop.
It's
the
S curl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy S curl, though.
That's cold, though.
Scully, come on, man.
That's cold, though. That's like the Big Red from Five Heartbeats.
That's some real pimping, though.
Yeah.
That shit's swimming.
How old is he?
Oh, no.
He like 50, 60,
that
right?
Nigga finger waves is deep right there.
Yeah, he older, man. We gotta bring back that old nigga stuff, man.
Nah. Keep that shit with his head
Come
right
on, linen suit. You know what I mean? Linen suit with Harley Davidson.
Oh, man. You ain't never did no S curl in your hair like that? Never?
He ain't never did no. I ain't. That's DeAndre. Yeah, that's it. That's DeAndre. Shout out that man. He took it there. He keep a look on him. I see him.
Man, so let's ask a question. Vince, fuck with it or fuck out of here?
I'm fucking with it. That's some sugar free. That's cold.
Stacey rocking the Keisha Coles is crazy.
Yeah. It's just the outfit. He wasn't dressed yet. He put on that linen suit. It's gonna look
true.
right.
That is true. We throw a Stacey Adams on that.
Yeah, Stacey Adams, linen suit, Bible.
Nah, I ain't rolling. Sorry, Stacey. I ain't rolling, man. Hey, Stacey, we gonna wrap this shit up fucking with you, Scully. Hey, Vince, man, I appreciate you coming up here, man. Spend some time with us, man. Good luck with your show, man. The Vince Staples Show, man. We're fans. Before you came here, we was watching this shit on, on the loop. So again, man, I appreciate you for what you do. Keep putting on for our culture. Keep raising the bar for our culture. Keep raising the bar for Black men. You get what I'm saying? And opening them doors. You kicking the doors down. You know what I'm saying? You facing conversation with conversation. And that's a lot of times people don't want to do that in our situations, in our positions. So keep doing what you're doing, man. We support you. We got you. and you motherfuckers go out there and watch that show on Netflix.
For sure. Hit them thumbs that they
Yes.
put on your screen and shit. Both of them, the two and not the one. That's how we get the money. Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming through, man. This is 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, the Wave Original, presented by FanDuel. Make sure to do what you do. Subscribe on the YouTube page. Hit the button. Of course, if you're on the podcast channel listening, like, rate, review, leave comments. Leave comments wherever you see the show. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, podcast, whatever. All helps. For the Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony and, of course, the one and only Vince Staples, I'm Kazeem Famuyide. Now, we'll catch y'all next time, people. Peace.
Peace.